The crochet crowd is calling. Yarn tails so tall, inclusion for all. Inspire, create now. Light and joy in every stitch. Passion is the perfect glitch. Oh, Mikey, Mikey, what do you see? Yarn tales, community.
The Crochet Crowd, I'm your host. And good morning and welcome to the Crochet Crowd here live home studio in Nova Scotia, Canada. I am Canadian and welcome aboard this journey. And this morning I'm actually doing a bit of a test behind the scenes, our journey level membership here on YouTube, and this is only broadcasting to YouTube today, does some testing for me. So I've got two testers that are constant, actually I think three, that are just communicating back and forth and helping me to really get my butt in gear and get things done. So without them though, the patterns don't get tested to much detail and therefore mistakes can happen. So I'm working through two patterns. One was a pattern that I purchased from Jeanne. She came back out of retirement just for a pattern, and she submitted an idea that was awesome. And so I'm working through that. So she wrote the pattern. She writes a great pattern, and she decided to emulate the wicker stitch that is one of my patterns that I've done, but do it in the round. And so we came back, and the first tester had a bunch of edits and was pretty awesome. And so I was able to edit that. And so the next tester came along and they can work on it at the same time. So I go back and I change the document in real time to so that the other testers can know something has changed. And so anyway, the first tester agreed to it, and then the next two testers said, yeah, everything's actually set, everything looks good to go. And then I had a fourth tester come along and question the stitch count. I'm like, well, the other three testers got by. So I thought I would just print the pattern last night, sit down with it, and just check. Because if one person says the stitch counts are out, it's possible that the other three could also be missing. So I decided to sit down with the pattern. So one of the things that I noticed in the pattern, and if you saw a photograph of this on Facebook that I posted, I think I might have done a preview here on YouTube, but the actual center is got a tilt, which is normal. But I'm wondering to myself, so one lady said on Facebook yesterday that she would never touch the pattern because of the tilt. And it is tilted, but I think sometimes we're hard on ourselves as crocheters that everything has to be straight. I know you're not looking at a straight guide today, but that's kind of one of the things. So I wanted to take a look at that, but also as I was doing her pattern, I'm like, I don't know how this thing is working, in the sense that the stitch counts don't seem like it makes sense, but it actually does make sense. I don't know. So oh God, Daniel just messaged. So what I want to do is I want to look at that. But then Jeanne, when she did the pattern right here, is that she went back and forth. So she went all the way around and then back, just like the wicker stitch would have. But the wicker stitch did that because we were going in a circle. And we wanted to keep the seam line for the foot thing in line, right? So did that, and she did the same thing with this, but it doesn't actually require that. And the reason why I'm thinking that is that if you did something like this and you went around and then back and around, you would have one side that would look out of alignment, because you can see that the colors bounce back and went back around and then bounces back, goes back around, right? So I realized that she's only turning because I turned, because I was going back and forth in the rows. So I wondered, after I did a little bit of this, I'm like, well, can I go round and round and round without having to go back and forth. And what that does is, like something like this with the Red Heart Biddy stripes, is that it will look like it's transitioning properly instead of having one corner that looks like it's out of alignment. And the bigger it gets, the worse it looks, right? So I so far don't see a tilt. Do I see a tilt? I don't see a tilt yet. It's very possible that that Jeanne had tension when she made her sample. So what I'm doing is that I'm looking at the pattern, and I'm going to make some adjustments. So if you are testing the pattern, there's going to be some pattern changes that I've made in order to do that. I also saw some pattern notes that was given to me by one of the testers that it doesn't make sense where I put it in the document either. So if you are a Journey member, you can have access to this already. It's already in the community tabs here that you'll see in the Journey membership. So Journey members have the opportunity to test. And the other one that we're testing currently that I really got to look at is, I released it yesterday to the Journey membership. A lot of questions. I think I need to do pull-out notes. A lot of diagram work happened with that yesterday. And I accidentally created a new stitch. I know. And that's honest to God truth. So what I want to do is that I want to plot out Jeanne's thing, because if I do decide to sell the pattern, which I don't really have intention to right now, but if I do, then at least the diagram's done, and that anybody that's confused, they won't email me, because I'm not keeping up on my emails, because the emails are just flooding in on me so hard that, oh my God. So anyway, so that's it. So that's my kind of my long intro. So welcome to Laura, Bethany, Just Dusty Bottoms, Tammy, Tina, something with a C, I don't know, something in ski, and then Orit is the first here today. So if you want to chat with me while I'm working my way on this, that'd be awesome. And what else do we got going on? Got lots of things going on. I got a Bernat blanket cardigan in the process, so I haven't filmed anything like that yet. So, and I'm also working on the Crochet Cruise book, and that has been, the cruise is like 5 weeks away. It's like getting really close. So how often do I go live? It's when I feel like it. I don't have a schedule. I thought this morning I might as well go live because I haven't been live for a few weeks. So yeah, so anyway, had got my hair cut this morning, and now I'm ready to go. And for those that are unaware, or maybe you don't care, I am on the Atlantic time zone. It's currently 10:11 in the morning, and I'm a morning kind of guy. So I like to get my day going and get that. So yeah, so I'm here. If you want to chat with me about any topic, you can. Let's keep it fun and light though, right? Because I'm in creative mode. I don't want to be in business mode. So yeah, so creative mode it is. That's the only thing about having a creative business, is that I got to turn on my business head once in a while, probably a lot. And I have a hard time switching my creative brain to strategic brain. And so I'm going to try to keep it within the creativity today. So I am going to bring you on the other screen. So we do crochet diagrams. If you don't know me, this is what I'm known for, is the crochet diagram. So when I learned to crochet when I was a kid, my first book had crochet diagrams, which I thought was standard, but apparently it's not. And yeah, so we're gonna be going through there. So Shell, you are on the cruise. What's your first name, Shell? On the cruise. Do you have a tutorial for mosaic crochet? I do. We have several actually. You can enter Mosaic Crochet Mikey in the search on YouTube, or check out our channel as well. So Shell, you are on the cruise. Interesting. So I assume that you're excited about the cruise because you're on the cruise. Michelle, have you cruised with us before, Michelle? I can't tell by the username. So if not, you're in for a treat. We have a good program lined up for you. My 70s costume came in. So anyway, so Dusty, I'm just going to say Dusty. I was happy that her phone is working at home. Yeah, so I know any kind of event costs money, unfortunately, even hotel events or whatever. And yeah, so Laura Thiel is with us. So I think Laura was on the last one that I got I was too sick to go on to. So I had to deal with that and get that over. So no, it's your first cruise ever. First crochet cruise or first cruise? Our crochet cruises are pretty informal. I have some things that I want to teach, but really the teacher is the best person at your table. And we're known for being a rowdy group on board. Yeah. So yeah. So I'm looking forward to crocheting this, says Cynthia Shaper. Okay, so I'm going to jump screens here. And no, I was in Reno. Oh, I thought you were on the last one, Laura. I don't know why I thought you were on the last one. But it's Alaska should be good. And we're in July, so I think if you're too early in Alaska, you don't see the wildlife. So we went in June once and we didn't see hardly any wildlife because things were still coming out of hibernation. And then we went in August of one year and it was basically whale soup. Like there's so many whales. It was awesome. And so I haven't been in July, but in July, apparently the whale action is to be something to behold. So I'm really quite excited about that. Make sure you do bring some rain gear though. It is Alaska. So just some rain shoes, I think, and a raincoat is definitely something that should be on your list. When we went in June, it rained the entire time we were on the cruise. And so it sucks if you have no rain shoes in that sense. So anyway, but the way that I see it, holidays are not always meant to be sunshine and clear skies. I think Sherry was saying Ketchikan is known for rain like most of the time. So if it's a non-rainy day, consider yourself lucky. So it's either that or Juno. I don't remember which one. So Silver Wolf will be with us for the Coco d'Amour. So Coco d'Amour is our crochet cruises for next February of 2027. We're going to be on board Virgin Voyages as a group for the first time. So Daniel and I did a test on Virgin Voyages in January. Absolutely loved it. It's unlike any other cruise ship I've been on. You can be yourself. The staff is themselves. They can have their own hair the way they want it. The staff can be tattooed. The staff emulate your energy. So I found with it, which I found was interesting, is that, I drop language. I'm not even going to be a good little boy, but I drop language, And anyway, but if you do that in front of the staff give it back. In not a derogatory way, but they communicate the way you do. And where other cruise ships, they will tend to try to get you back on track. And you can just be yourself. And I was just so amazed on the difference of the ships for that as well. And we are going to Hawaii in 2027 in October. We have not released the tickets for that. That will be released in July, so in about a month's time. So, and we will be on board with Jonathan Berner, which is the Yarn Dragon. So he's going to have his knitting group. We're going to do our crochet group. And in the mornings on sea days, we will be in our own groups. So there'll be 100 of his, 100 of ours. And then in the afternoons, the entire groups come together and then we do activities, stitch outs, fun. So it's going to be basically a crochet knitting cruise on crack, in the sense that it's going to be exciting. So we're really quite excited. And it's a 2-week cruise out of San Francisco. Yeah, so 70 degrees out of Alaska yesterday. So it's been very cold here in Nova Scotia, I have to say. So it's been not cold, but it's just been miserable. Okay, I'm going to jump screens and we're going to get ourselves go. I can keep talking about that. So aloha, it is so tempting. Yeah. So Jonathan had the attitude where, why can't knitters and crocheters be in the same space? And I'm like, they always can be, but there seems to be like this avoid oh, she doesn't do that. There seems to be this thing in life where you, God forbid, you were sharing the same space. So so he says, I want to prove people differently, and I'm like, I am all in on that. Just, you don't have to convince me that, because it's kind of dumb how we separate ourselves. But crochet and knitting is really not the same hobby at all. Like, there is no correlation of that. So we're going to shift ourselves down, and so we just have to get ourselves started on this diagram stuff. So what color is the first? round of a diagram. Anybody know? Laura, you've been here enough times, you know the answer to this one. There's always the same coloring. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to get that out. Oops. And I am going to black. Black is the right answer, says Silver Fox. Black is always the first. I don't know who made that rule, but it is a rule. I don't even know if it's a real rule, but it's there. So I'm reading, so for the Journey members, oh shoot, we're going right to a square. That's fine. Okay. So we're going to get that square to go down. So Jeanne likes to start off sometimes with a different way than I start, which is fine. So this is my guide. And so she's got chain 2 spaces. So we're going to grab some chain 2s up here. So anybody know what the green line is that's beside it? It's my determination of knowing where the first stitch is, should be, in relationship to a corner. So, and this is going to help me determine my starting point as well. So the one stitch would be at this green spot, the other stitch is here. It's way too far apart from each other. So what I'm going to do, narrow him down, shrink him a bit, and bring it closer in. So it's all about the starting. And it's guesswork, honestly. Okay, so he's too close to the center, so it's a little bigger than that. Okay, so what other crafts are people into? We got a loom knitter in the house today. Oh. Daniel says one of the baby roosters is apparently now starting to crow. Oh, he's getting his voice for the first time. Okay, that's Buddy. That's my house. So we got cross stitchers. I've been making stickers. Anybody into that diamond art? I'm not into that, but okay. So I think this is going to be the right spot for this. And so I'm going to move him up and over. I'm okay with that. And am I okay with that? I think I'm going to go a little bit smaller. So we're kind of, Daniel's been kind of homesteading here, where we're getting, the dogs go through a lot of eggs and stuff. So we have chickens and quail, and he just got turkeys. So if you've been following my personal profile on Facebook, oh my God, that's been a whole to-do. So he asked me if he's going to if he could get turkeys, which I don't know why he's asking me, because he's going to do it anyway. But anyway, I said, yeah, that's fine. Just get 2. Anyway, the guy gets 12. And they're baby turkeys right now. Oh my God. So think about 42-pounder turkeys by the time the dinner season comes. Yeah. Okay, this guy should be black. So I'm really not impressed in that way. So I'm going to point these guys over. So I had my eyes tested yesterday, so I gotta get new frame. I gotta get new lenses for my glasses. So the guy said to me, the eye doctor says, you should have never got your new glasses without getting your eyes tested because it's been 5 years. And I'm like, well, I have like, 4 pairs of glasses that I switch off with that I didn't want to know reality. So anyway, so apparently I gotta get new frames, or sorry, new lenses. I know, joys of getting old. Okay, so we're going to spin this guy around. And get ourselves started with round number 1. So 360 degrees. There's a pop-up screen that never shows up on your side. I don't know why, but anyway, I'm programming the spin. So that's the spin. And I'm going to unspin him. Yeah. So Cynthia Shaver loves watching me do this. So actually, you know what? I think I've actually taught people how to read these things when they see it being constructed. So my background story is not that you care, but is that I did a testing trial for Red Heart many years ago, and they asked me to they gave me a pattern. They said, we need to see how you teach this pattern, and so they gave me the pattern, and it had no diagram in it, and it was my first time because I didn't know how to read a down pattern. And I'm like, well, where's the diagram? They said there is no diagrams because at the time Red Heart wasn't doing the diagrams, but Yarnspirations was. And I'm like, oh my God. So it took me about a year to understand on how to read patterns. Just going to shrink these guys up a bit. Anyway, so the trial went through and then I got approved for that. I had to do some changes to get that approval as well. So one of the changes I had to do was to change the way that I wrap my hook. And also I had to invest in doing all my videos on a white screen instead of a table like I had been doing. But I decided after I moved here, I still had the white screen and stuff, but I ended up in a room by myself. And I was kind of lonely. And I realized, you know what, if the dog barks, who cares? But I had to have total sound control when I was with them. And because of that, I couldn't like just film in my office here with the dogs barking and Daniel walking around and the whole 9 yards. So I'm not so worried about that anymore. Okay, so that is round number 1. And round number 2. So round number 2, what color is round number 2? So new lenses still, yes, Megan, I've already emailed GoDet this morning to ask them if they need my glasses in or whether they can do it, because they already took the measurement of my eyes and it's already on file, so I gotta do that. Okay, so if it's blue. So blue is always number 2. I don't know what people with, shoot, like I took that line out. Okay, I'm going to make a copy of him, make a blue. So I don't, so anyway, so I don't know if I need to take in my glasses or not, or whether they need to do measurements again. If not, it's going to be a day trip to the city again. I was having eye issues. Actually, I got surprised by eye issues last Thursday. And anyway, I went into the clinic on Monday morning, first thing, and I said I'm having an issue, and they said, well, they're not booking they're booking appointments into July and August, and I said I got something going on with me. Is there any way to go sooner? So they were able to get me in yesterday instead of waiting. So anyway, it's peace of mind, because yeah. So I have a floater, which I never had before, so I wasn't sure if I was to be worried about that or not. Okay, so we're going to space these guys out right there. So we're going to see where that is. All these screens open that you don't see. So there's going to be 2 steps in between those. There they are. So that's where the stitches are. And we're just going to do them out. Anyway, so the FYI was good yesterday. And now I got peace of mind too. Karen and I went to pick up some art at a yard art last week. Actually, I was with you, Megan. I didn't tell you. I don't know if I told you I was having an eye issue, but I noticed it when I was having lunch. So it's in my left eye. So the guy just told me I gotta have to get used to it. And I said, is that an aging thing? He goes, yes and no. So I'm like, oh Christ. That's just fun and dandy. But anyway, they put these eye drops in my eyes last year. Oh my God, burn. So anyway, Daniel and I had lunch, and then I came home and I'm like, I have to get back to work. So I was like squinting, and then eventually the pain wore off, and I was sitting here until like 7:30 last night working. Yep. Oh, my square is out of alignment. And tonight is stitch night at our home group here. We have a really fun stitch group. And so anyway, the stitch group has been deciding at the end of the group, and they say it was my idea, but I swear to God, I heard somebody talking about ice cream, and we have a Dairy Queen in the town that we go to. And anyway, I'm like, are we doing Dairy Queen? And they're like, oh, is it your idea? And I'm like, I thought I heard somebody. So now it's turned into a Dairy Queen after as a group going in. So it's kind of funny. So anyway, we have a really good group of people that show up. So Megan, that you're seeing here, is part of that group. She was on a roll last week, though. She was quite funny last week. And sometimes she just makes too much sense, and she always sits beside me. And then I have Kelly that always sits on the other side of me. Kelly's so full of puns. So anyway. Yeah, so our stitch group has been alive now for 8 years. 8 years. Anyway, it's my favorite night of the week, honestly. It's the only time I get out. Okay, so we are doing the wicker stitch here. Wicker. And this is where the instructions go wrong that I wrote down. Okay, so the next row has to be around 3. It's got to be black. So I'm really looking forward to the crochet cruise though. You know what? There's something about being with crocheters in person versus being a home cyber. It's just, I just love it. I think it's great. I'm just gonna put these guys. Yeah, but we can never film at our group. Our group is pretty crazy. I think I just attract these people. I don't know what it is, but everybody's themselves, which is great. But we're not I went to another stitch group locally here and I was just bored to tears. Bored to tears. And the conversation is just too safe for me. Like talking about kids and I never had kids, can you tell? So anyway. Okay, so chain 2, that's where, okay, chain 2. See, she's got chain 2 counts as a double crochet here and through, and I think it's that's causing the twist because I didn't do that on mine. We'll figure it out. And it says that there's 8 stitches, so this has to be divisible by 6 into 6. So Hannah is just joining us for the first time. Welcome, Hannah. I hope, don't expect a miracle. I'm live, so I'm not very formal, but if you've been watching my tutorial work, you know that. Okay, so we got to point these guys to there. So the bottom of the stitch here points to where it needs to go for those that are unfamiliar with how this stuff works. So this is the wicker stitch. So these 4 have to go okay, so I think I'm just going to draw. The wicker stitch has to go here. What I'm thinking is that I point it and then I put an arrow down. And we'll put the arrow in red. Red. I'm talking online or chats. Oh, I enjoy the chats, but frequently get judgy when asked what's on your hook, what's in your cup. I say it's wine and Smirnoff, and then no more interaction for me. Yeah. This is tea. I'm a tea drinker. I don't drink coffee. I have ADHD, which I didn't know until like, I think 3 years ago. I can hyper focus, which I didn't know, but that's my superpower apparently. And anyway, Karen, my friend, told me that I have ADHD, which really rubbed me the wrong way when she told me, and I was like really upset about it because I thought it was because I know people with ADHD and they're quite nightmare people. Not everybody, of course, but from what I remember from a guy that used to treat me like crap at one of the jobs I had. So anyway, so I was feeling really bad for a while, but then I learned to adapt and lean into it. So this kind of stuff that I'm doing on screen, this is not something that you would find in a custom program where they make diagrams. This is completely stuff that you would have to do manually, which I'm fine with. So anyway, so my ADHD, I can't drink coffee because my ADHD with coffee makes me sleep. And I started drinking coffee and I was just having a really rough month. And so I was talking to somebody and I said, I just really struggling. And And they said, ever since I stopped drinking tea. And they said, well, why did you stop drinking tea? And I'm like, because I started drinking coffee. And they said, well, maybe that's the problem. And I'm like, oh my God. So I went immediately, did not even pass go or collect $200. And I went immediately to the coffee shop. I got a tea and I was back to myself within an hour. And I'm like, oh God, what a nightmare. So sometimes the smallest changes you do in life can really impact you. Excuse me. Okay, that's number 3. So all of that, I'm going to put a stitch key in here to tell people what that is, because the arrow is special. That red dot that I move is called the registration key, and that is the center of that block that is rotating around the center. So it always appears at the center, and I have to move the center to the center of the square. So Wendy is joining us. Wendy's my assistant from California in the house today. So she's bebopping around. Okay, so we're on round number 4. Next, and so we're back to blue. Jeanne's pattern is so simple. I just got to figure out why it's spinning. So I put the 1 stitch in there to see where that box is going to go. These come out, and then we're going to go back to blue. So it's Happy Wednesday. I just ran into a friend and I said, I can't believe you're at work. And she goes, I said, you're only off on Wednesdays. And she goes, hello. It's Wednesday. Okay, so there's 1, 2, there's 8. So it's called the blend tool, and the blend is what gives it the spacing that I need to see. And then Control Command B as in Bob will then give me those lines. So I was having a lot of hand coordination issues for anybody that's been following me. So I went through diagnosis. I went through, is it an MRI where they do a brain scan? And then they did a neck scan and they didn't find anything wrong with me. I know, that's a miracle in itself. And anyway, so the doctor says to me, well, I don't know what to tell you because we're not seeing anything wrong. But she says she's heard that vitamin B12 helps with joint or nerve issues. And anyway, so I started taking it and I got the feeling in my hands back. So it wasn't carpal tunnel. That was the first test. As soon as they ran that test, and it was like they knew instantly, like I didn't have carpal, which is a miracle in itself, considering that I crochet so much. So 1, 2, 3, there's 6. So I'm going to take these guys and blend them into 6. So do you see how they slightly lean to make sure that they match the tops? Okay, and that was this round. So number 4. A CT scan, that's what it was. Yeah, I don't even know what. Yeah. So anyway, so that's kind of, but I'm amazed that I don't have carpal. I am completely amazed by that because I crochet a lot. Okay, that was round number 4. Round number 5. Now, round number 5 is when everything starts going hunky-dory. So we're going back to black. Jeanne would have had to frog this, I don't know how many times to get this right. I'm more amazed that she was able to figure that out, to be honest. Okay. So it is the wicker stitch in the round. So if you've noticed my foot blanket or my foot pocket blanket, and I have a wicker stitch blanket, this is the same stitch but going in the round. So Jeanne specializes in going in the rounds. But last year I was going through a lot of people giving me a hard time about I'm doing too many round blankets or square blankets. So I started focusing on doing rectangle. So I was telling her, I said the people got tired of the round blankets. So I said I have to change my ways. Okay, there's 12. Anyway, so she's back just for this one pattern, and she's back in the round again. Okay. So the wicker stitch is coming back into play soon, but not yet. Okay, this is not making sense. This is not making sense. Oh, okay. So it's going to be one. I'm going to put that as a red. Red. So it's not a 2 double crochet corner. It's a 1. I knew that. I just forgot. See, once she gets to the rows after this, it turns into a repeat pattern, but it's a matter of getting established. So I break the rules by coloring something like that red, but I want to call attention to it so people understand that there's something weird that's going to go on, because everybody always assumes there's 2, like I just did. Yep, here all day, folks. So I did some analytical digging yesterday, and I just want to thank everybody for your support. We actually are up 15% on YouTube for views. Usually we're under 1 million views by now, and we will not hit over 1 million back until October, and we are still over 1 million. And so I did analytical searching, and one of the things with the analytics, and you may not like AI, but they have AI built into the platform. If you don't know that, you're welcome for knowing that. But anyway, I asked the YouTube AI, I said, our business cycles with the weather, the warmer the weather, the less people view the crochet tutorials. Can you take that into account when you're giving me an analysis? Because what happens is that I get beaten up for like 6 months of saying I need to do better, I need to do more, you're not engaging people, but you can't engage people when the weather is too good. And so I asked AI yesterday, I said, can you factor in the weather when you're giving me a critique? And turns out they can do it. And so anyway, it adjusted its analytical overview of our channel yesterday to factor in the cycle of weather. And it's because I really do hate getting beaten up by YouTube for stuff that I don't control the weather clearly, but I hate that because you look at it every day and you're just like, oh my god, I'm failing. Meanwhile, you're not really failing, it's just the weather is good. So one thing in the yarn industry is that they hope that the weather gets really terrible really early on in the fall so that people turn to the crochet hook. So there's always that factor. So the craft stores and stuff don't really pick up their momentum until the weather turns. And so here in Canada, our weather turns faster to the colder weather before the US. So we're on it before the southern part of the United States. But of course, the northern states, they'll be on it probably. What's a northern state? Montana, North Dakota, Michigan, all of those probably in the same time frame of kind of picking up the crochet. So, but then our community is global. So then our Australian friends are into the crochet right now because it's heading into their winter, and summer solstice is like only 3 weeks away. So, which is hard to believe already, but. Okay, so that is. So this here sets up for the next wicker stitch in the future. And I'm going to highlight that as red. Red. So Ola is going to be back. Ola Joe the Crocheter. Her name is Andrea. She's a retired vet from the naval sector of the United States. What do you call that? The military? So anyway, so then I asked AI yesterday, what do crocheters really want when the temperatures get warmer? So it told me not to focus on long form content, just focus on the short little mini stuff. But I still have to prepare for the fall. So I'm actually quite busy in the summers because I have to get prepared for people coming back in the fall. What color is that? Blue. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're on round number 6. So I'm not changing Jeanne's stitch counts because for some reason they work. I don't know how it's possible, but it's true. From the Navy. Yeah, from the Navy. So anyway, I did the Americanized bag, fixing row number 5. I didn't fix anything yet. Mooney, I haven't fixed anything yet. You know what it is though? Row number 5, where I screwed up, Mooney, which you may have done, because I put 2 crochets into the corner, like 2 chain 2 2, and it doesn't say that in the pattern. It says 1 double crochet, chain 2, 1 double crochet, because I was crocheting this last night because you sent me that email, and I thought, oh, maybe you're right. And so anyway, I was making the same mistake. I think, I'm not saying you made a mistake, I'm just saying that I think we might have made the same mistake together, because I haven't fixed anything, not yet. My major change is that I'm not going to turn around at the end of the round. I'm going to keep going round and around. That's my major change I'm going to do. Okay, so this is what, row number 6. So there's 12. So I don't know. Were you doing that, Mooney? Were you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Actually, but you know what? I do appreciate the email because you made me actually test it myself. And because of it, I think it did me a service to do that, just to kind of look, so that I could make some changes that I didn't think were necessary. I don't think we need to turn at the end of every round. I think we can keep going in the same. We can keep on going. Because that's what I did. And this row here, we're going to skip the first single. We're going to skip the first stitch. So after row 6, which this is, then the pattern then aligns for the whole thing. The next 4 rounds after that, it just goes until the cows come home. So Jeannie's getting us set up for success by the first 6 rows. So 1, 2, 3. We've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 of those. Okay. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, so we got 14 there. That's fine. And now the repeat pattern starts. So we're back to round 7 now. Well, we're going to do round 7. Oh, we got to spin that. Okay, this is round number 6. And let's spin this puppy. You know what's going to happen? This is going to get released and say, I wish it was in a rectangle. And I'm going to say, oh, yeah. Go at it. I mean, oh, that's nice. Wendy knows what I'm talking about. I use a laptop tray to be able to crochet larger pieces in the summer. I run hot all year. Oh, she's bragging. I think I just heard her say, "Oh, please." We still have the heat on in this house in June. We normally turn it off at the beginning of May. It has been unseasonably chilly here. But I think we've been told, I'm not 100% sure, I think we've been told that it's going to be an active hurricane year, and to expect more storms in our area. But I'm not 100% sure on that yet. Okay, and how many stitches does it say? It says there's 20 stitches, so that means that there's 18 in between those. So I got to program 18. So I don't worry about the stops and the starts of the rounds until the very end. That's just... There is 2 double crochets, yes, in the corners. And the reason why you can't mirror these things, you see that stupid tilt? That actually matters in design. It's easier if the designers just don't bother with the tilt, but then it's not technically, it's technically supposed to be there. So because of that, if you mirror that, then the tilt goes in the wrong direction. And I don't think the tilt necessarily means anything. I think it's just styling. But that's as far as I know. I could be wrong. Okay. So tilt in the first one, 2 double crochet and the next single crochets. So this is the wicker. I'm preparing for the wicker stitch again. If I don't get the spacing right, things in the future don't line up properly. So it's better to take a few moments and point it in the right direction. Okay, so there is 2 double crochet into the first stitch. Oops. These 4 are a wicker stitch itself. And then there's another wicker stitch right there. And then another one right. So this is just going to tell the crocheter where to point. Okay, this one I'm going to change slightly. This one here, I am going to make it a squiggly. Oh, piggly wiggly squiggly. I don't want it to interfere with that. And that is going to be the same on the other side. So we're going to reflect him. And point. So he's going to be here somewhere. Okay, so now we just got to clean it up. How would you make this a rectangle? That's a really good question. You would have to change the beginning center point and then go from there. And then you got to make sure that the sides are equally divisible by the same number. So whatever I do for the length, it has to be the same number. So there might be on this here, there should probably be 2 wicker stitches here at this point, like one after another for a rectangle, and then only one on the side to do that. But it requires mathematics and a pencil and a paper to figure that out. A lot of the times I draw this stuff on paper by hand before I actually turn to a computer to do it. Okay, so these 4 are the wicker stitch going in. So I'm going to point it to the top of that guy. So the shift key is my favorite key of this whole thing. It keeps everything in alignment. When I grab something, it keeps it on the same axis. So I hold it down so it slides right over so it stays the same height. And one more. So the wicker stitch is made up of 4. So what this is that the stitch goes right in over top of the single crochet row, right in between the 2 posts, right below. So I found a diagram that I'd done in 2016. I don't even know what system I used it on, but it was pretty hokey dokey. It was pretty horrible, actually. Somebody emailed me 2 days ago. They want me to draw a diagram for somebody else's pattern. And I'm like, no, not doing it. If the designer wanted there to be a diagram, they would have done it. Anyway, it's the equivalent of copyright and content theft if I do it. So I'm not going to get involved in that drama. That's a ship that I don't want to get on. And so then the word was, well, they won't share it with anybody. I'm like, I am not spending hours making a diagram for one person. Nope. So he's going to share the same one. Anyway, it was a crazy pattern too. Like in the sense of it had all these squigglies and wigglies and all that jazz. Okay, so that's that round there. This was round number 7. This is the start of the repeat. And Wendy, you sent a super sticker? What is that about? Okay, we're going to spin this sucker. I think this is going to be a popular pattern. I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't think it was going to not perform well. Okay, and now we're moving on. Number 8, back to single crochet. So it's single crochet every other round if you haven't noticed. Yeah, Jeannie said I could name it whenever I needed to name it. So I gave it some thought, and it really did look like sea glass to me, the way that the bitty stripes worked itself out. Wendy, did you see that drama that was going on my personal Facebook on weekend? Turns out it was a total troll. Person that was giving me a hard time had no friends, had one friend, probably itself on another fake profile. Anyway, I was kind of upset about it. And then they were just saying stuff to me that just was something else. Anyway, I was over at a friend's house. They were preparing lobster because Daniel likes that, and I don't eat the lobster. And anyway, I was like, why am I putting up with this stuff? So anyway, I blocked them completely when I was over at their house, at my friend's house. I'm like, I am done. But it's teaching me a lesson. When somebody's giving me a hard time on Facebook, go check their profile. Because if they have no friends and they have nothing good to say, yeah, then that's not a fun story for anybody. So I realized I got trolled. Oh, Karen's here. Karen comes over every day walking her dog. We pretty much got a dog park out there. Oh, she's coming in. Oh, great. Oh. Here comes little Pedito. Hey.
I'm using your card today.
Oh, you are?
Yeah. Are you good?
Yeah, well, how much?
It's about $1,000 for the shirts and the bags.
I am live.
Oh, hi.
Yeah. 1,000.
Someone's live?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, puppy dog's here too.
Hi. Sorry, I didn't realize
That's
you were
okay.
live.
It's okay.
And then I was going to buy those tickets. Is that okay?
Yeah, how much is that?
80 times.
80 times 50,
Well,
56?
yeah, 57.
57.
Got a hubby coming.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know.
So 5,000.
Yeah, approximately.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yep.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, this is Pedito. This is Karen's dog.
Yes.
Yeah, full size.
Hi. Full size. Well,
he's gonna get a little.
he might be a pound or two larger.
He's a Cuban dog.
Well, Havanese.
Havanese.
He's Havanese.
So he's probably freezing up here,
No.
but he's a little baby.
That's why his name is Pedito. It means little fart in
Yeah.
Spanish, just in case you didn't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Pedito, right?
Pedito.
There we go. Hello, everyone.
Yeah, he's a licker. My dogs don't lick this one.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he also does a.
What's that?
He also likes noses.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway. All right. Sorry, just thought I'd let you know I was using.
Yeah, Daddy's card. It's the Novus. It's the Prince Edward Island trip. We're paying for the. Are you paying full price and for the tickets?
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah, because otherwise I'd need to do it next month, and why bother?
Yeah. That's fine.
Okay.
When are you doing that?
I'll do that this afternoon.
Okay. I'll do that after I'm off the
You got
broadcast.
it.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Apparently, the other roosters just found its voice this morning.
I was talking with Daniel.
Oh, were you already out there?
Yes.
Oh.
Well, yeah, because Pedito came over and we were talking, and
Oh.
so yeah. But don't.
It's okay.
Yeah, you said the voice is a little lower pitched.
Yeah, a little
Like an old
dinosaur.
man.
Yeah, well, Buddy was like that at the beginning too.
Oh, okay.
He's just finding his voice.
Okay, great. I'm so thrilled. I'll be
Mm-hmm.
able to hear them every day.
I thought he actually got a peacock.
Huh?
I thought he got a peacock. We were, honest to God, we were at the gazebo and I heard what I thought was the peacock. And I said,
No.
Oh,
Here, no, I got it. Hey, no.
anyway, I heard what I thought was a peacock and I turned to him and I said, "You didn't get a peacock, did you?" I said, "Please tell me you didn't get a peacock." He goes, "No, I didn't get a peacock." And I said, "I swear to God, I just heard a peacock."
Better not have gotten a peacock.
No, because we'll
Get
be
back.
plucking some feathers and it won't be the peacock.
You're breaking more necks than he thought.
I really did. I'm like, holy shit, you bought a peacock? And he goes, "No." Yeah. I'm lucky he's not getting an emu or geese.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that's good. That's it. We're foul closed,
So far.
says the neighborhood.
Yeah. I know. But anyway, so
Anyway, I'll let you get back to it. Happy designing.
yeah. Yeah, it's actually a cool design. Look at Karen.
You see?
I just correcting it a bit. It's got a twist.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah.
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 Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That is cool.
It's a Jeanne pattern. She came out of retirement just for a
I like
pattern.
how it's going over the.
Yeah, that's the wicker stitch. So she figured out, I did it in the footy blanket. So
Yeah,
she
yeah.
figured out how to do it in a round.
Good job, Jeannie.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway,
All right. Have fun. Looks cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, bye guys.
we'll see you.
Ugh. Anyone have allergy remedies? Let me know. Bye.
I know she's got allergies and yes, she gets a dog.
Oh, it's so bad right
I
now.
gotta go pee.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Bye, Bobby.
Okay. Okay, so back. So Karen's my neighbor. She also does our retreat events, not cruises, but she's doing the one cruise for Europe for October, but the rest of it is Daniel and I. Anyways, we have to pay in advance for some of those stuff. I think the hotel bill is $90,000 for Prince Edward Island. So that's going to be coming out soon. And so there's 18. So Prince Edward Island really only has 2 good months of travel tourism. So if you go in the off season, it's not a smart thing to do. Things are closed up and boarded up for the season. So you have to go during the good weather, and unfortunately they charge through the wazoo for it. But that was part of the ticket cost, so it's all good. Okay, so that was that row. Somebody did message though there, said, can they get a scholarship to attend the Prince Edward Island crochet adventure? Like, that is not a scholarship thing. Okay, we're going to spin this around. Okay. So anyway, so they got a really good tour. I actually don't know all the detail. Karen keeps some of it quiet, but the group will be doing tidal bore rafting with one of the activities. Not everybody's going to want to do it, but it's an option. I think almost half the group are going to go deep sea fishing, and the other half with Karen, and I'm going to stay with the bus, and we're going to do some shopping in a gallery stitch out, while the other half of the group is doing the deep sea fishing. And then we're going to Prince Edward Island is known for Anna Green Gables, so Karen has arranged to have tea with the actual Anna Green Gables family. What's her name? It's not Anna Green Gables. What's their name? Anyway, we're going to be having tea at the actual one of the historic houses with the family. Montgomery, the Montgomery family. And we're going to play production of Anna Green Gables as a group. We have a couple of surprises that I know about. There's almost yarn shopping every day of different independent yarn shops. We're going over by ferry and then coming back through one of Canada's longest bridges, the Confederation Bridge. And what else? We rented, most of the hotel is our group. So we rented the penthouse levels where our stitch out's going to happen. Yeah, it should be cool. And that's for August 1st. So that whole trip is sold out. So we have a maximum of 56 people for the bus. And so we have one person that's bringing her husband, and he's going to follow us in the car. Okay, that's round number 9. And so we're the whole group. We're staying at one of the hotels downtown Charlottetown, and so we're within practically a couple minutes of any restaurants and all of that stuff. So to save costs, we did not do any catering suppers. because the restaurants are small, and our group would just completely overtake the hotel or the restaurant. But it allows people, if they want McDonald's, we can get McDonald's. If they want a pub, they want fish, they want Chinese, Asian, whatever, you name it. So it gives them options to be able to eat what they feel like they want to eat. Okay, so there is 22. These events are listed. It's only on the website. There isn't. When we launch, there is an email list sign up when we do launch. But if you check under our the Crochet Crowd website, you'll see it in the main menu. So we are currently we have tickets open now for Mediterranean for next October, 2 crochet cruises in February in the Caribbean. And we also have, what else do we got? We're going to be launching Hawaii in July. So the YouTube membership level, all members, Passport and Journey members are going to be getting the first to book tickets for Hawaii. And then the group on board Crochet Cruise for Alaska is going to be second in line for any bookings. And then it's going to go to the mailing list that we currently have. We currently have 714 people on the mailing list for that. So there's a lot of people on the list. But just because the list is that big doesn't mean that everybody's going to go. They're just interested in getting information. Because when the seats sell out, they sell out. I'm live, just so you know.
Oh, okay. All right.
What's going on?
Anything.
Oh, that little rooster, eh? It's cute. Yeah.
Yeah,
Just finding his voice.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
A little dinosaur.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, actually.
Yeah.
They're both competing with each other.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, kind of a little bit.
Oh, there's going to be a cockfight out there.
Yeah.
Well, don't get involved.
Oh, I know. You better not.
Yeah.
Exactly. In other words, you're going to have 2 roosters upside down.
Yeah. Swing. Okay, so we got 2 in there. 1 double. Okay, 4 double in between the space. Okay, so we got the wicker stitch back. I don't know how in the hell this pattern works. It just works. No, I don't like that. Okay. Just know if you're signing up for our events, our groups that we attract, the people that we attract are usually a rowdy group, which is fine by me. I love it. but it's not for everybody, in the sense that some people think our group is going to be quiet little good boys and girls, and we tend to be kind of loud, and honestly it's kind of like summer camp when our groups get together. I think that's a fair assumption, right? Yeah, it is. So especially on a cruise ship, they see us with our crochet bags and stuff walking the galleys, and they think, oh god, there's a boring group right there, and yet we get people like, I wish I would have come with your group. Your group's having fun. And interesting. So so people are a little bit surprised. I'm going to start in the middle because I think something is wrong. Don't forget, give me a thumbs up, apparently. Okay. Okay. I'm just trying to see the counts here. Okay, that's right. See, this is why I don't understand how this pattern works, because this stretches way over here. Somehow Jeannie's made it work because it actually sits flat. I don't get it. It's like voodoo or something. It is very possible that Jeannie's tension of doing the wicker stitch caused the rotation as well, because this is going into the space between the double crochets and over this. She might have been tighter than she should have been. I'm just guessing. So I haven't filmed this yet. Obviously I want to get this done first. Oh dear. So I am planning on filming it. I think it's going to be a big pattern. I think it's going to do well. I just, the Biddy Stripes was the right yarn to choose for that too. I did give, when she approached me that she was thinking of designing this, I gave her a list of recommended yarns that she should think about. And so Biddy Stripes was one of them. And the Biddy Stripes has the look of watercolor paints. That's how it's described by the team at Yarn Inspirations. And then there was a new one. Actually, I still have to write a pattern for the stitch sampler that I did. I forget what it was called. But it resembles Biddy Stripes, but in Bernat Blanket. I got an email from a person last night complaining that I'm using too much of Bernat Blanket lately, but you know what? It's just easier to design with, and it's faster, and it allows me to knock off the designs faster. And you know, people substitute. So it's not even something I'm worried about. Especially something like this. I would probably do this actually in Bernat blanket, this pattern. And then just say, well, here's the stitch counts. It's going to work for you. And go at it. But I bought a ton of Bernat blanket that during the 40% off in March. So I want to use it. And then the local store here had Bernat blankets for $4.95 a ball. They had a door crasher sale, so I went and bought a whole cart full of yarn. And it was all Bernat blanket brights, so that's what I've been using lately. And it's a store I had never been to before too, which is interesting on its own. Okay, so that was that row out. See the stretch on that? See, that seems like, see the distance of these stitches versus that? Like, it doesn't seem like it works, but it does. Ah. How? I would have never guessed this worked. Never. I'm going to sound like those brochet boys out of California. It works. It works. Anybody follow those guys? They're quite funny. I posted on my personal profile this morning on Facebook. I ran into another male crocheter that absolutely hates the magic circle. Said no matter what he does, it always falls out. And I'm like, all right. Anyway, but he was quite funny. But I did title it "Not Safe for Work," just in case anybody, because he's so passionate about hating the magic circle that he drops a few words that I clearly understand. But I feel the same way. But as much as he hates the magic circle, I hate the puff stitch. The puff stitch can honestly wipe the face off, or just wipe it off the face of the earth. Every time my crochet hook snags, I just want to, yeah, it's not going to be pretty. Copy. So this is the last part of the repeat going in. So does anybody have like a friendship circle where you send like memes and little reels and stuff? Yeah. Bernat blanket is at Rossi, but smaller balls. They had the bigger balls, but the Bernat blanket Rossi, I think, Kathy, was on sale for $2 something, but it was the half size balls. But the big balls were $4.95 last month. And so much so that they had it online and then they had to pull it offline because I think they sold all their stock. I don't know how they sold it for that price, so it was crazy cheap. So I'm like, you know what? Don't have to ask me twice. I know I'm going to use it. But I think a friend got a hold of me, told me that the half size ball, it's 150 grams, or the ticket right now at Rossi. Rossi is it's got 80 stores, and I don't know what it's like in the United States, but it's like in everything little department store kind of concept that but it's only in the maritime areas from Quebec, from part of Ontario, Quebec, over to the Maritimes here. Anyway, I had never been to Rossi until that moment. And I'm going to be back in just a few moments. I just got to put on another sweater. I'm cold. It's going to be a high of 20 today, which is not bad, but it's definitely not 20 in here. I like a comfortable 22 degrees. Okay. So we upgraded our heating in December. So the whole house was running on in-floor heat, which was costing $8,000 a year to heat this house or to power this house. So we switched everything over to heat pumps. So there's heat pumps on every level now. We had one heat pump, but it was so old it wasn't keeping up to anything. So we put a heat pump in my office, the main floor and the upper level. So 3 heat pumps. And we turned off the in-floor heating to save money. 1, 2, 3, 22. So the heat pumps, I think, were like $22,000, but it costs $8,000 a year just to heat this house. Well, it did. So it'll pay itself back in a few years. So the cost of living here in Canada is much higher than the United States, including our fuel. Like, Americans have it good with the fuel, like big time, always have. But of course, with the current situation in the world going on, our fuel is like $2 a liter. So it's really expensive. But the Americans still have it cheaper than we do. But I'm not sure where the housing is for a 2-bedroom apartment. I think it's $2,200 a month, something like that. And I don't know how anybody affords that, but whatever. So you really kind of got to live with somebody else to have that opportunity to at least have some play money, if there is such a thing. Okay, so there's that row. And I'm going to put, even though that's the end of the repeat and the end of the project, I'm going to put one more row in. Row number 11. Between 70, 80 cents a liter. Is that what that is? Wow, that's cheap. Cheap, cheap, cheap. That's super cheap. Good for you. It's awesome. So, I have an online business, so you save money where you can. So we only have one car between the two of us. This is my last round, so I might as well move it out. So we just have to make sure our schedules work, but it helps that I work from home too. We did have 2 vehicles, but it didn't make sense. We were lucky. Tubbs got a Charger with the same fuel system as well. You are so lucky. Okay, so if that was 26 stitches, 26, 27, 28, it's going to be 30 stitches. So there should be 28 stitches between the two. Just doing these diagrams, I used to suck at math, and these diagrams actually make me more proficient at math than I ever was. I could never count 5 or 28 minus 5 or something stupid like that. I could never do it in my head. But this actually makes me do it. Two double crochet in the next single. I think, and I'm not going to blame society, but I'm blaming society in some degree. I'm blaming inconsistency. So when I was in kindergarten, we would learn French and English. And so in the school that I started off with, and it was fun. French to learn was fun. And, we'd sing songs and the whole 9 yards, but my parents would move around a lot. And it's not a military thing. It's just my parents moved where the jobs were. And because of it, the next school I went to, they didn't teach French until grade 5. And so I had already been learning French. So by the time I end up getting to grade 5, we start learning French. And then I went to the next school and they didn't start learning French until grade 6. And so then I was then behind. And then I went to another school and they had started learning French in grade 3. And so by the time I was in there in grade 7, the group had already had years of French under their belt. And so I never picked up on the language because I was just moving too much, and the inconsistency between the school boards. And so the same thing with math. So in the school I was started in, they started times tables in grade 2. And so I went into that school when I was in grade 3, and there was no way I could pick it up because they'd already been doing the times tables for a year before I did. And it was constant catch up. So I was either ahead or I was behind. But in the end, I ended up being behind on everything. And math is one of those ones. I would just sit in math class and cry just because I just didn't get it, because I just didn't have the knowledge to do what my classmates were doing. Okay, something is wrong. Something is wrong. What is wrong? Oh, it might not be wrong. So I kind of regret French immersion probably would have been a good thing for me in the end. So my cousins went to French immersion. My aunt insisted. She was in the medical profession, and she insisted that her kids were proficient in French. So they went to French immersion. And sadly enough, both of my cousins, they committed suicide. Both of them, two of her sons committed suicide in their 30s. So one did, and then the other one followed 2 years later. I don't really know a reason why they did. They just did. Oh, what? Anyway, it was kind of sad. It was really sad. But I didn't really know the cousins. My family never was close to anybody. We just kind of like, you're related, but you didn't really have any contact with anybody. So that's why I don't really have any family connections. But it also taught me that my family, because we were so isolated from everybody, when I left the house, I pretty much didn't look backward, because it was normal not to communicate with your family once you left. It was one of my reasons. And my gayness had nothing to do with me walking away from the family. It had a portion to do with it, but it wasn't everything. And I kind of just viewed my family as like birds. So they kick out their kids out the nest, and then that's it. They never see them again. Certain species, of course. And I thought, well, if the animal kingdom can do it, and my family did it, my direct family, then I can do it too, and I did. Okay, something is wrong. I have an extra stitch. Why? I have 2 extra stitches. Why do I have 2 extra stitches? Why is there 2 extra stitches? There was 26 stitches at the end of that. So there should be 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 17, 18, 19, 20, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Why do I have 2 extra stitches? Something is wrong. I'm supposed to have exactly what I see down here. Because there's a stretch. So that means that is 28, 26. Sorry, I'm thinking. You know what it is that sequentially, the way that this goes in typical crochet is that there's 2 on the corner, so you've increased by 2 stitches. But why does this work on the sample? Or maybe it doesn't. So I'm just testing the real sample. the first stretch on how it is why it sits flat. I'm wondering if the single crochet rows kind of like give it balance. Okay, I'm going to work this out, and for the Journey membership, I'm going to update the pattern in a little bit, and there's some rewording that needs to happen in that, and we'll get that done. And I will put I will change the date on the top of the document as well, so you know that I've done it. So that's it for now. Have a great day.